The following tutorial is brought to you by WholeLoops.com.
It's production time. I'm Reid Stefan, realest puppet in the game. Forward limiters, you gotta know. I'm going to be talking about the ones I use the most on a day-to-day basis, show you how I use them and why I use them, starting with number one, the plugin for everyone who says they got no budget for plugins, the Camel Crusher. And you'd be saying, what, the Camel Crusher on the master? Still sounds better than the Ableton Limiter, by far. Let's drop it on. And you're done. No, I'm just kidding. You just got to turn off these, because you don't want the distortion. This is really going to be your pump it up knob, and you always want that all the way up. You can see this is really with no volume boosting, and then you pump it up. Right around there sounds pretty good. Or maybe you want to flex on them a little harder, put this at half, and then duplicate it. And then you got two of them running at half. That way you're still retaining some of the punchiness of the original, as opposed to just blasting one all the way. I like it. Moving on to number two, the limiter that I always keep on my master the whole time I'm producing, the Fabfilter Pro L. And this is the only limiter that does not give you a ridiculous amount of latency, except for, of course, the Camel Crusher too. But all the rest of them on this list, just an absurd amount of latency. But it's pretty easy. You don't have to do much to it to get it to sound good. You can just turn it up. Or you can, let's see, I like the dubstep, punchy and controlled. Sounds punchy and controlled to me. I like it.
Are you a music producer looking to create the next Spotify smash? Do you want DJs and record labels begging for your exclusives? Are you ready for the most comprehensive collection of organic samples? Introducing Raw Hits 2, the sequel to our best-selling product featuring over 500 more samples, one-shots, loops, and blazing hot ingredients for your music productions. Raw Hits 2 is available now only at WholeLoops.com.
All these styles of music are basically just different presets for, I guess, the attack and release and the way it clips and the amount of clipping it has, stuff of that nature. Good part is you really don't have to understand it to use it and to kind of make your selection. So highly recommend this. This is probably the limiter that I spend listening to the most. And then moving on to number three is something that you really wouldn't want to put on your project until you're done, but it does sound amazing. The FG-X limiter by Slate Digital. Whoops. This thing is more of like a maximizer. I don't really use it for this. I usually just put this on the hard clipping, and you can really pump this up. Granted, it does get a little bit rough up here, but still you're pushing it an enormous amount, which is what's so powerful about this plugin, because any of these other plugins are not going to sound that good getting pushed that hard. But moving on to a plugin that actually works kind of like the Camel Crusher but sounds better. Oh, damn it, I'm so bad at this full screen thing. The Precision Maximizer by UAD. Let me delete this. This is kind of a similar principle where this is like that bottom left knob on the Camel Crusher. And also we want the limiting on. You can even boost the input gain a little bit. And again, we got the mix knob. This plugin is only, $200. It's like the Camel Crusher for people with a budget. I highly recommend it. I use it in the same exact way, same kind of output, just much higher quality. But you then have to be a part of the expensive UAD platform But consistently, I find with limiters, you really get what you pay for, and that's why I never recommend using the stock limiter, because just as a final example, we'll show you the difference a few bucks can get you. Let's try doing some... Let's try messing with the settings here. Let's turn this up to 0. Yeah, this really doesn't have that clarity in the top end that any of the other ones do. It definitely gets the volume, but at a really harsh and digital kind of way. So I'm not a huge fan. I would recommend any of the other ones on the list before this video. But that concludes my top 4 limiters you gotta know. If there's anything you'd like me to do a video about, leave it in a comment below. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to those who enabled notifications. The track from this demonstration was made entirely from sounds from Whole Loops Raw Hits Volume 2. Link to that sample pack in the description. I also have some links to other relatable mixing videos that I made in the description if you want to see more about the final mixing and mastering process. I've done a couple videos. But that's enough for today. Thank you for sticking around till the end. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.